time.
Shelly? Oh, wow. You really startled me.
So, you finally thought of me? I haven't seen you back in Meroria in a while. Were you having a bit too much fun in Domain 9?
No, I'm not like you.
Huh? What was that? You learned a lot about the life and land in Domain 9? Well then, make sure to show me around next time I go to Domain 9 for work. Since I'm the top Hycros mechanic, I was even invited to the Jade Pavilion Fair in Domain 9.
Wow. And then you ate so much that you could barely move?
That was because of the travel. The abyss current on the way to Domain 9 made me dizzy. I wasn't feeling well before I got there. But despite the discomfort, I completed my mission just fine. I'm amazing.
So, you're saying you have a weak constitution?
Well, I am more brains than brawn after all. Well then, make sure to show me around next time I go to Domain 9 for work. You're talking to the head of the Hycros Domain 9 Smart Servant Committee. I'm personally responsible for the technological collaboration between the two places.
The Hycros Smart Servant what now? How come I've never heard of it?
Well, we are still getting more members. Do you want to join? After my committee gets bigger, and won't be so easy to get in.
What kind of responsibilities does a member have?
Stuff like delivering the latest smart servant research data between the two areas, bringing back Ling Chao's refined equipment parts, and special local snacks from Domain 9.
Special local snacks?
I misspoke. What I meant to say was special local materials for research. Of course, if you have time, you can pick up a couple snacks too. Come on! I'm so busy with work. When do I ever have time to travel there? It's not like it's out of your way.
I'll think about it.
Well then, make sure to show me around next time I go to Domain 9 for work. I'm telling you, I think we're like two peas in a pod. We get along great. I never thought anyone in this world would understand me as well as you do.
By the way, are those things in Ling Xiao's lab your handiwork?
Yep, my great invention will be carried forward in Domain 9. It's all a bit overwhelming. Honestly, I really miss that place. The food is so good, and Ling Chao even calls me teacher. But the work hours are just too long. Doesn't she know people want to leave work on time? If you call me your teacher, you should learn how to work reasonable hours like me, right? Oh, I almost forgot. Here, have a taste.
What's this?
That's cake I made. The only one. Enjoy! Oh, but don't forget to write me a 5,000-word review after you eat it and post it online with some nice photos. That way, all of your Domain 9 friends can see it.
Huh?
I realized that not many people sell cakes in Domain 9. My sharp business sense saw an opportunity. If the people in Domain 9 like it... Oh, but Ling Chao doesn't like snacks or desserts like this. What do you think I should give her as a gift instead?
A solid smart servant upgrade plan.
Say what?
I can ask her for you.
Well then, make sure to show me around next time I go to Domain 9 for work. I don't know when I'll get the chance to go to Domain 9 again, but I can't wait to have fun. To do work! What did you think I said?
Archon Larson, Ms. Lyra, we have the latest updates on Domain 9 and the Gray Space entities.
Thank you for your hard work. Master Yu has already briefed me about the situation in Domain 9, but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Based on our recent observations, we've noticed that abyss currents occur quite often in Domain 9, and the disasters caused by Gray Space entities are extremely severe. We've also seen quite a few Gray Space entities similar to the ones here in Vera.
Could those be the ones that have migrated from Vera to Domain 9?
They likely responded to the Hive Mother's call and traveled to Domain 9 via the abyss currents. Personally, I think there's a strong possibility that the Hive Mother is in Domain 9, but we don't have the ability to pinpoint her exact location right now.
How's the doctor doing?
Dr. Rubilia noticed a peculiar Blackstone ruin and initiated research into it, along with Lord Linghan, who is in charge of Marshville. I believe she will bring us more insights on the Gray Space entities soon.
Shirley and I also made some discoveries regarding the Blackstone ruins. There is a powerful Gray Space entity being held captive within Ignisville's Blackstone ruins. With the seal on the ruin gradually weakening, the Gray Space entity tried to escape its confinement. The situation has been resolved, but at a cost. There's barely any lifeblood left to sustain the operation of the timestamp system in Domain 9. If the lifeblood is depleted, the Gray Space entities imprisoned within will immediately break free and wreak havoc. And without the support of timestamps, battling these Gray Space entities would become even more challenging.
Indeed. We've heard about this from Master Yu. Inspired by Domain 9, Lyra has conducted in-depth research on Marzoid ore.
That is right, Archon Larson. After restarting the investigation of the confounding abyss and combining it with the findings from Domain 9, we've made significant breakthroughs in our research on Marzoid ore. We have narrowed down why Marzoid ore can serve as a substitute for lifeblood. The energy contained within Marzoid ore is essentially omnium. Just as the Executor said, there are Blackstone ruins that exist in Domain 9, which bear a striking resemblance to the ones in the confounding abyss. It's not surprising that Domain 9 also has minerals similar in nature to Marzoid ore. Unfortunately, after thoroughly analyzing the data provided by Master Yu, we found that the known reserves of Marzoid ore in Vera are far from sufficient to fill the gap.
So what do we do? There must be other solutions, right?
We are not completely out of options. Marzoid ore and lifeblood are merely different forms of energy. The energy that provides the timestamps is omnium. In other words, all we need to do is to provide enough omnium. Should Domain 9 be able to construct its own towers of fantasy and start extracting omnium from Mara, energy depletion wouldn't be a problem anymore.
Tower of Fantasy.
Of course, this also comes with risks. Master Yu is already aware of the harms and impacts caused by the Cataclysm, the Omnium Plague, and the out-of-control Omnium Reactor within the Tower of Fantasy. Anyway, Domain 9 is considering the solution. If the conditions are met, it would undoubtedly be the best choice. However, this is based on the assumption that Domain 9 falls within Mara's energy radiation range. If not, it's all just talk.
How can we know for sure?
District 7's application of Omnium technology isn't that advanced. We'll need the assistance of District 9.
I'll get in touch with Archon Elric and Master Yu later to discuss the matter and finalize a solution. You've done a great job exploring Domain 9. We'll be counting on your continued support for our future collaboration with them.
We're glad to be of help.
Now then, Miss Shirley and the Executor should return to Asperia to wait for Archon Elric's instructions. In terms of other partnerships with Domain 9, there are some details I need to confirm. Tianlong, come with me.
Business trip? It's finally my turn to go to Meroria? Ah, the popular magic-themed masterpieces and the hyper-realistic merchandise from that city I've been thinking about for so long.
You'll need to touch bases with Miss Lyra in Meroria, then make your way to Domain 9 through the Celestial Gate.
Oh, I suppose that could work. Even if I can only stay for a little bit, I'm sure I'll get a chance to snag some goods.
Executor Miss Shirley, allow me to introduce you. This is Brevi, a Tower of Fantasy engineer.
Hello there. I'm usually cooped up at home, but even I have heard about you two. At least, I think I have.
We have already reached an agreement with Domain 9. Once we confirm that Domain 9 can harness omnium radiation from Mara, we'll commence the construction of a Tower of Fantasy. Brevi is set to accompany you to Domain 9 for the initial inspection. If the optimal solution for Domain 9 to obtain omnium is indeed the construction of a Tower of Fantasy, Hykros will spare no effort in providing assistance and support. Even though the construction of the Tower of Fantasy has been essentially stalled since the Cataclysm, our research on omnium has never ceased.
But at this point, we've run into a roadblock that we can't seem to overcome. It is what it is.
Hopefully, our understanding of omnium can assist Domain 9 and the entire human civilization to safely navigate through the gray space entity crisis. Venturing to Domain 9 to investigate the possibility of constructing the Tower of Fantasy is our first step.
Bleep bleep. Hykros' current technology is more than capable of conducting the investigation, but understanding the local conditions, well, that's another story.
Bleep, bleep? Is that the name of some new technology?
She says it's our special notification sound.
Don't worry, Teach. I'll be careful with these, uncommon phrases to avoid any possible misunderstandings. Rest assured, I'll uphold the image of a serious and reliable Hykros researcher.
I'm sure you'll handle it appropriately. Don't worry about your projects here. I'll have someone take over. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. In addition, an executor will be appointed to go with you for your safety.
Anything? Well, I would like a large amount of extra funding. Also, can I choose my own bodyguard? I want Yanunu to come too.
Considering she might still be on a mission, it might be best to choose from the others first. I'll check on Yanuo's schedule later.
And no matter who I pick, there'll be a stranger. Never mind. I believe believe I can get along well with the Executor and Miss Shirley. I'll be fine without a bodyguard.
Wouldn't that just burden them with additional work?
What do you guys think? This is actually my first time leaving Hykros. I'm not really sure what kind of problems I might encounter.
Don't worry about it. Just leave it to us.
Keeping the team lean. That's not a bad idea. While you're on your mission, could you also keep an eye out for this inexperienced student of mine? I'd really appreciate it.
I can take care of myself even if Yanunu is not around. Yes, this is also a necessary challenge on the path to making miracles.
Oh, well then. I'm looking forward to working with you, Miss Brevi.
Oh. Is it just me? Or does the air even smell different here?
How do you feel? Are you uncomfortable at all?
Perhaps traversing through space-time barriers all in one go is a bit too much for a first-timer like me. My sight is growing ever dimmer in the encroaching darkness. If I were to fall here...
We'll get you to a place to rest. Come on.
That's the scene I had imagined, but it turned out to be easier than I thought. Bleep bleep! Thank you all for your concern. I've done some last-minute cramming. I think I'm as ready as I can possibly be. This trip has been surprisingly uneventful. There's no opportunity to put those survival skills Yanunu mentioned to use, it seems. Like, how to survive in the wilderness with no signs of civilization, and how to survive by foraging for edible plants. I thought there might be a chance to put all this knowledge to use.
It's not that extreme.
I seem to be doing fine adapting to the new environment, but the accommodations have me a bit worried. Making the bed and doing laundry isn't my strong suit. I predict that within a day, I'll have the guest room in a total mess. I wonder if there'll be any staff to help.
I think that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now that we're here, let's get straight to work. This is a rare hands-on exam. If my teacher thinks that I'm the type to drop the ball at crucial moments, it'll make future funding applications even harder.
Welcome back, Executor, Miss Shirley, and Miss Brevi from Hykros. We've made ample preparations for our in-depth partnership. Please follow me to the Infinite Sundial first.
The Infinite Sundial? That's the most important facility in Domain 9 for energy reaction and conversion, right? I remember reading about it in the prep materials.
That's right. The Infinite Sundial transfers the field energy originating from Lifeblood to various timestamp facilities. It's the most critical hub in the entire timestamp system.
Very fascinating. I'd love to see it. Could you walk me through how it works and the logic behind it? Is it just the novelty, or does this place not seem as dull as Asperia?
Of course. I'll get the tour set up immediately.
Welcome, Miss Brevi. Let me introduce Miss Brevi, the architect of the Tower of Fantasy from Hykros. She'll be conducting an inspection regarding the construction of a Tower of Fantasy in Domain 9.
First things first. We have to ensure that Domain 9 is within Mara's energy radiation range before we can move forward with the next steps. If we can confirm this, maybe we could prove that Domain 9 is a part of Ida. Just maybe. For some reason, Domain 9 and the other regions have become isolated from each other. What's the principle behind the deployment of this barrier? In any case, if this is true, it falls in line with Hykros' prior hypothesis. Domain 9, just like Vera and Asperia, is another missing part of Ida.
Miss Brevi's ideas are quite promising for further study. It seems that this verification process might unearth key information we have not yet realized. I'll leave it up to Miss Brevi to take the lead and decide how to proceed.
Before we move forward, I have a question. How exactly did Domain 9 pinpoint Vera's coordinates and open the Celestial Gate?
Domain 9 experienced a very unusual space-time fluctuation some time ago. Due to the impact of the fluctuation, we managed to track down more parameters of the outside world. The data was harvested and processed by 3 space-time anchor stations in Joltville. It was then sent to the Infinite Sundial and calculated by our supercomputer, Tempos. Therefore, we precisely identified the location of the outside world Celestial Gate in Ignisville, making our trip to Vera possible.
I see. Just as I had imagined. Then, we can replicate the same procedure this time. Surveying the space-time anchor points of Mara through these 3 facilities. But given that Mara exists in higher dimensional space-time, we need to adjust the survey parameters to sense its presence. It might even require modifications to the anchoring device.
Of course, that's not a problem. Neo, I'd like you and Yoon to assist Miss Brevi with the modifications.
Understood.
Moreover, taking into account the time required for the project and the budget for the equipment, I don't see the need for a new Tower of Fantasy in Domain 9. We can accomplish the same goal by modifying the Infinite Sundial, the hub of the timestamp system. Modifying the Infinite Sundial? Wouldn't that interfere with the functioning of the whole timestamp system? We'll have to determine that based on the actual circumstances when the time comes. However, if the 2 facilities operate independently, it could potentially lead to a large-scale energy loss during transmission. In that situation, Tower of Fantasy's energy efficiency would significantly decrease, possibly not meeting the Infinite Sundial's needs. All things considered, remodeling the Infinite Sundial is the best solution. Tianzhong Pavilion will carefully evaluate the proposal. It's absolutely critical that we ensure the Infinite Sundial continues to function perfectly. There's no room for error.
I'll leave the proposal evaluation to Mimi. In the meantime, our priority is to survey the existence of Mara.
Please follow me to Tianzhong Pavilion, and we can discuss the plans for the anchoring device modification.
My name is Yoon, and I oversee the Infinite Sundial. I'd be delighted to assist in any way I can.
A new member just joined our party? Our group's friendship EXP just got a major boost!
I just did a quick calculation of the transmission power needed for the survey, and the space-time anchor stations can meet this requirement. As for how to equip the space-time anchor stations with the ability to survey Mara, that's down to Miss Brevi's plan.
Right. For that, we just need to request Hycros to transport the space-time monitoring modules to Domain 9.
I see. Miss Brevi must be planning to replace the existing modules of the space-time anchor stations with the ones from Hycros, right?
That's right! Our collective brain power is leveling up!
But it seems like it won't be as simple as that. The device doesn't fit the space-time anchor stations, so we'll have to build corresponding connectors.
This could be troublesome. The space-time anchor stations are rarely used, and we don't have spare parts in Tianzhong Pavilion's inventory.
We'll help too. What resources do you need?
Thank you, Executor. Allow me a moment to prepare a list. Roughstone and Jadestone should be relatively easy to collect. The Dark Gold Fixator can be purchased directly from Sky Workshop at Tianhe Bazaar.
Sounds straightforward enough. I'll head out now. Excuse me, could I get a dark gold fixator, please?
My apologies, we just ran out of stock. You might want to try other stores. Or would you like me to notify you once we have more in stock?
Are there any other places nearby that might sell it? I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm afraid I can't wait.
You're welcome to have mine if you need it urgently.
But what about you?
What you're dealing with is more pressing, isn't it? As for me, waiting a bit longer won't hurt.
Don't worry, when we restock tomorrow, I'll reserve a dark gold fixator for you, Miss Fesa.
In that case, I'll gratefully accept the offer then. Thank you for your generosity, Miss Fesa.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Executor. Please wait a moment. The modifications will be completed shortly. Next, we need to install these connectors at the 3 space-time anchor stations. Let me just double-check. Okay, everything looks good. I'll be on my way.
Mr. Neo, could you hold on for a second? It seems there might still be some unresolved issues in the debugging program.
Did I miss something? Let me have a look.
Should I take care of the device installation then? It would save you some time.
That would be a huge help. Thank you for doing this, Executor.
Mission accomplished. Now we can initiate the survey.
PlayStation